Okay, so I was originally thinking that I would take and in this area down here, get a Zumo XT and use it like a computer screen down here with all the functionality that that has. But I've come to realize, of course, my new iPhone 14 Pro Max has all the same stuff plus more. So what I'm going to do instead is I have gotten some components from QuadLock. So I can move this system here down to right here, have it extend out over this to kind of center my iPhone, and use all the functionality of it and have it down there where there's a better light protection to get a better result from the screen, better visibility. So let's see what kind of things I've gotten from QuadLock, including some things that don't apply to this, but they've got some neat stuff. Okay, so these are the things that we got from QuadLock. Let's take a look at them. Now, I do have a QuadLock mount in my Tahoe, a windshield mount, and I have the mount on the bike that you saw earlier. So I just upgraded my phone to the new iPhone Pro Max, the 14. Don't want to cut my table. And so, yes, this is my new case for the new phone, which I'm recording on right now. And what's special about this one is this has the new magnetic ring, fast contact charging, and it's a lot thinner than my current QuadLock case on my old phone because there used to be that little hump that went like this when you put it on the socket and locked it in place. This one is perfectly flat, so I'm very excited to see that. There's also a good raise around the camera bezel to protect that, so excellent. Perfect, we'll see how this works. Okay, so we have three things in here. We have this new product from QuadLock, which is the mount and tripod selfie stick that locks to the QuadLock case. We have the power feature here. It's the locking head that's going to go on the bike, but it has that wireless charging feature built in this. If you remember from the bike, and we'll look at it again in a minute, there was the little USB cord that came out that had to be plugged into the lightning part of it into the phone for charging. This is now wireless. And we have a little angle bezel that'll help me find the perfect positioning on the bike when we move it over. Okay. Stand by. I'll be right back. Okay, just like that. Movie magic. This is off the bike. You will see that this is the clamp that goes around the handlebar. Then we have this swing arm. We have this charging device here, which plugs into the battery tender area of the bike. And this is what would plug into the bike, the phone itself. So let's finish taking this apart. And we're gonna dry mount everything up just so that we can kind of get a feel for what it's gonna look like on the bike. Okay. So what we will not be needing anymore is this guy. Let's put this off to the side. In fact, we'll just put it in the box. Okay. Now we're gonna take this guy apart and take a look at what this has. Ah, there we go. Okay. This side. This aside. Warranty paperwork. Here we are. Of course, there's always going to be a couple components to this. This is going to be the QuadLock itself. And the cell phone is going to mount to it like so. So in the case, they have this little head, which is quite a bit different from the head that was on the other system. So we're just going to put those guys there. We're going to take the head that came with the case and we're going to mount it onto here. And then we're going to screw this in the way that we want onto here. Okay, good enough. So it's going to mount to the handlebar and it's going to extend out. Now I do see a couple things. One, I need something long, a little bit longer. So I'm going to have to get another extension to have it placed center. I like my things correct. Either it's intentionally off or it's intentionally aligned. And in this case, I want this thing to be aligned. Secondly, there we go. Okay, so we got it all aligned now. Now what happens when you put the phone on, this is gonna retract, right? And pop up. Then when you go to take the phone off, you have to push this in and then rotate the phone. So as such. So there you go. So now it'd be that way. And you'd reach in, move that in, and then rotate the phone right off. Or if you're gonna stand it up, like so, and then push it in and take it off. Okay, now here's a big negative for me. This is pretty frustrating. The cables that they give you to plug into here are USB cables. Whereas the old system had this guy. This is really frustrating because now I have to get a USB cable for the bike. That was not something I was planning on. Frustrating. QuadLock. But the bike doesn't have a USB port, like my Road King. I really wish you had thought of that. Instead of me having to go buy more stuff now to get things the way I want. Put that aside. Now let's take a look at this guy. Folds up nice and compact. So they do everything by resistance on here. There's nothing to loosen and then retighten. It's just all resistance. Let's try this on here. It looks like it's gonna be pretty stable. And the way, instead of a disappearing stick, they give you the ability to angle up like this to keep the stick out of frame. What I would have loved to see is something, because I'm worried about that resistance wearing out over time, is something that you can tighten and untighten. And also something here that would mount to a clamp, something like this on the bike, so that you could have a stick attached to the bike. But this does seem to be very high quality and very stable. And you'll be able to record with the phone however you want. Yeah. For the $49 and being able to mount with my phone and be more stable than what's holding the phone right now, I think it's a good deal. I like that. That's good. These disappoint me. Let me go out and get a cable that'll connect into, and then we'll mount it to the bike and see how it looks. Actually, I have a great idea. I can use this and plug it into there. So I don't have to spend any more money. I can use my existing charger that will then plug into the bike correctly. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Okay, so first step to getting this system installed is to remove the seats. Before I do that, I guess that doesn't make it the first step. That's the second step. First step is going to be to take off this bag right here. So let's do that. My previous videos have shown you how to take these bags on and off. Just simply turn a couple screws in here. And then lift right out. Okay. Take our screw off at the back of the seat. And then we got to take off this strap. You can jimmy it without getting this strap off, but it's so much easier if you just take this off. And it's only held on by a screw here and here. So I'm going to take it off on this side because we're going to be working over here. And lay that strap back down there. Let's go put our bolts over here on the table. And then we're just going to lift up and slide out. Okay, so we got our connectors here that we're going to use. Let's pull this on through. This whole system right there. And we're going to connect to this one, actually this one. And we're going to leave this one, you'll notice the splitter right here. We're going to leave this one available for either more accessories or for battery tender. Okay, so we're going to set that out there. I'm going to go ahead and just pull this panel off. Just to make it easier. Okay, let's get going. So the first thing that we're going to want to do, just probably the easier route, is going to be to mount this first on the handlebar, position it the way we want, and then we'll run the cable back here and tuck it all in. Let's see here. Couple more turns there. There we go. I'm going to take and just put this in the pocket. Okay. Okay. So one thing that's apparent is I'm going to need to put that extender, that knuckle on here, because this part has to come up to get over where the cover for where it says Road King. So let me go grab that knuckle real quick. It'll be just a very minor adjustment. So now we have this. Yep, watch out. I'm gonna need something a little bit longer to reach in there, and that'll do it. Here, can you put this on the ground? Thank you. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Let's come on down here and take a look at what we did. Okay, see how it's mounted? You can kind of see what we did there. Okay. So now we got to run that cable back to here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's get all this wired in. I'm gonna grab some zip ties. Oh.
At the table, I can get it for you. And you from the table, I can get it for you.
Okay.
You need to put those in the bag.
Uh-huh.
And you're gonna dry brush those in the bag?
Yes.
Huh. I got one.
Let's make sure all this works now that we got it mounted and wired. We're gonna put the side piece on. We're gonna put on the seat just so we can make sure everything is not in the way of anything else. Okay.
How do you know where everything goes?
Experience.
Okay, do you remember where you took them off from?
Yep.
Your work is looking great.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good.
Dad, can you put me on the seat?
There we go.
All you have to do is hammer it down. It's nice and sticky.
Okay, come here. Okay, can you get out so I can finish the film?
Okay, after you're done, can I get back on?
Yep. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. So I have the battery tender, which I'll just tuck down in there. We have No exposed wires. Coming up, we are gonna tidy up this wire here in a minute. That comes up to, see where it plugs into the old, it's not focusing. Plugs into the old power right there. And then comes around in there. Now, one thing that I'm gonna have to be careful of, and is another downside to this, unfortunately, is just that, notice the bike is off, but it's still got live power. So my options are to put a switch in line, or simply remember to unplug it and plug it back in when I get on the bike, so there's no power drain going on.
Can I get on the bike now? Can I get on the bike now?
Your hair is crazy, woman.
Can I get on the bike now?
Yes, you can get on the bike now. Can you get up there?
Can you help me?
Yes, let me put the camera down.
Camera down. I can get the kid seat.
A kid seat, huh? That one back there? Or do you want to get on the front seat? Okay.
Don't plug it.
Nope. Nope.
It'll be too dangerous for me. Can't plug it. Can I press a button now?
You can push a button, sure.
What button?
Whatever button you want.
Can you turn off while I push a button?
Huh?
Is it turned off?
It is turned off, yes. You can push a button. Go ahead.
Like the zero one?
Sure.
I don't want to push it.
Whoa.
What about the other parts in those boxes? Kid seat.
Okay.
The kid seat there. Please. Kid seat. Dad, I want the kid seat. Kid seat is fine. This is a bit high.
Okay, so I will give you a long-term review once I have an opportunity to play with it, experience it, see all the pros and cons. Of course, I'm saving my old system so I could go back to that if need be, and I'll let you know. So I will see you on the next video. We're going to be installing new crash bar system. Okay, so this is what it looked like before, mounted on the top handlebar. And this is what it looks like now, down in the middle in that recessed area.